Greetings. For this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the uber basics of QGIS to explore global lake temperature data using publicly available resources. All the links that I'm going to be mentioning in this video will be in the YouTube description below. Also, just to note, I'm not going to be re-downloading any files because I have limited space on my computer and I have limited bandwidth requirements or limits, and I'm trying to make this video rather short while still being useful. Also, if you want to figure out whether or not this video is useful to you, if you are interested in knowing on average when lakes freeze for the purpose of ice skating, then keep watching. Thank you. So, to begin, we are going to download QGIS. Real quick, let me get out of here. We are going to go to qgis.org and then click on download. If you're able to donate, please do, and if not, skip it and go to download. For the rest of this video, this is going to be using Windows. However, that doesn't mean this video is useless to you. There are other platforms, and pretty much QGIS is the same across all of them, with very, very minor differences. Anyway, if you're using Windows, click long-term version for Windows and download that. Anything else, click the thing that is most applicable to your operating system. Once you have downloaded QGIS, you're going to open it up. And what I'm showing you now on screen should be pretty similar to what you will see. The first thing that we're going to do after we have downloaded QGIS is right now I have this YouTube example download folder opened. This would just be your download folder for whatever browser you are using. And maybe there's other things in there, or maybe it's blank. So we're going to go back to Chrome or whatever browser you like to use and head over to hydrosheds.org and click on the lake temp page. Then down here at the bottom for data download, we are going to click on lake temp, which is going to open up Figshare as another page. And in a moment, we will have laketemp_v1.zip at 1.27 gigabytes. And right here, this download button, we're going to click on that, or you are, because I'm not. I already have it downloaded. In my file, that is laketemp_v1.zip. All right. And next, we're going to go back to hydrosheds.org and go to Hydro Lakes, which I'm already on. And down here at the bottom for data download, we want to download lake polygons in shapefile format at 820 megabytes. And do the same for lake pour points in shapefile format. The shapefile format is important here, 79 megabytes. While those two are downloading, I'm just going to give you a quick explanation of what they are. Lake polygons are the essentially outlines of the areas based on the shoreline of the body of water to see on the map. And that's important to a degree because all of our temperature data is based off of this data set. And then the lake pour points is our outflows or our outlets of water for each lake system, and that can be important depending on certain other factors for how much water is moving out of that outlet, and that could affect the structural integrity of the ice in some cases. So once you have all those zip files downloaded, you should have Hydro Lakes points, Hydro Lakes polys, aka polygons, and laketemp_v1. Those three. If you know how to extract these files, then do so now. And if you don't, or don't have a program to do so, or any utilities to do so, then head over to peazip.github.io. And for me, I'm going to click on PeaZip Windows. However, there's Mac OS and Linux. And this is a free and open source software, and I have used it for years, and it's great. Once you have that downloaded, we're going to go back to our download folder, and if you have a slow and old machine like mine, we're going to right-click one at a time. Right-click Lake Temps and PeaZip, extract here. During that, it's going to take a minute, maybe get some water and do some push-ups or some core exercise or stretch or something. No idea, up to you. We're going to do the same thing for Hydro Lake's polys or polygons and go to PeaZip, extract here, and finally PeaZip, extract here for the Hydro Lake's points. That'll leave us with these 3 folders in our download folder. And we are going to minimize that and minimize our browser of choice and come back over to QGIS. Now there's one link in the description after these 2 links that is not one you want to click on. You simply want to highlight and copy, and now it's on your clipboard. So with that, we're going to go to Layer and Add Layer and come down to Add WMS/WMTS layer. And if you have a fresh installation of QGIS and this is your first time here, you won't have anything on this drop-down menu like I do. So we're going to go to New. Name is going to be OSM Map, and the URL we're going to paste. OSM Map is because this is the OpenStreetMap server, or I think it's the ArcGIS OpenStreetMap server specifically. Yep, that's what it looks like. Although somebody who's more familiar with ArcGIS, if you want to correct me, please do. And we're just going to click OK. I'm not going to click OK because I already have this added, but if you want to follow along, please click OK now. I'm going to hit the X. Now you should see OSM in your drop-down menu. Now you can close this and head over to your left-hand side under the browser panel and unfold this tab for WMS/WMTS and locate OSM, which it should be the only one for you. And we're going to open that up. And once again, if anyone is more familiar with this, let me know. But for my use case and the purposes of this video, we're going to use default 028 mm because from what I can observe, there's no difference. We're going to right click and add layer to project. Now you should see this map. If you do not see this map, chances are you have gone offline since beginning this video and you should maybe consider checking your internet connection. Next, we're going to go to layer once again and add layer. This time we're going to add vector layer right here. And under source vector datasets, we're going to come over to these 3 dots, which is browse, open that up, go to, not that. We're going to go to our download folder and click on Hydro Lake's polys, aka polygons, and we are going to select the .shp file. That's our shape file. And we're going to open that and add. Now you're going to start to see all this begin to populate. I'm going to untick this box to reduce the load on my computer. Then we're going to come back up to our 3 dots for browse, click on that, go back to our download folder, and click on Hydro Lake's points. And once again, select the shapefile .shp. Open, add, and now I'm going to unclick that again to reduce load on my computer. And finally, we are going to close this window. And then we're going to go to Layer, Add Layer, and Add Delimited Text Layer. And over here for Browse, we're going to click that, go back up to our download folder, and come to LakeTemp_v1. Now this is important. LakeTemp_aggregated_v1.csv is the correct file that you want to select. Make sure that is the file name. Click Open. And for this next part, sorry, I meant to close that previously, but if you have a fresh installation of QGIS, you should only have file format be the unfolded header here. We're going to want to, and you don't have to change anything. If it's not CSV, click CSV. We're going to unfold geometry definition, and for the X field, we are going to select center_long for longitude, and as you probably guessed, for the Y field, we're going to select center_lat for latitude. Now, I'm going to click Add, And if you have a slow computer like mine, or old, or whatever, it's going to do nothing. Don't panic. Just let it be. It's going to do some weird stuff. On my computer, it's going to say not responding, but it is responding. It is doing things. You know, if you ever watched that Star Trek movie, Save the Whale thingamabob, I think it was, I can't remember which character it was who went into this place with all the computers. But at first he's like, hello, computer. Hello, computer. Computer. And then somebody hands him the mouse and is like, try the mouse. And he like picks it up like a radio thing and is like, hello, computer. Anyway, just leave your computer be. Let it be chill, all right? Definitely don't push any of its buttons. You don't want to, irritate it. Worst comes to worst, if you do something else and you have a slow computer, an old computer, it's going to make QGIS crash, and then you're just going to have to start this video all over again. And I'm imagining this video is already at a considerable length of time. Probably 10 or 15 minutes, if accurate enough. There we go. My little spiel ended. We're going to unclick lake temp. So now that we're here, we want to make sure, if you've been following along with the video, everything should be in this order for our layers, with world street map at the bottom, then Hydro Lakes polys, and then Hydro Lakes points, and then lake temp aggregated. And the reason that those are important is because if we zoom in here to my example, lake, and for instance, world street map is up here, and we have lake temp selected, we won't see anything. And that is because this layer covers more than that. Now our little dot appears. Or a better example of this is Hydro Lakes polygons of our shorelines, right? World Street Map is currently covering all of that information. So you want this order right here. However you downloaded it, however you imported it, this is the correct order. So we're going to make sure that World Street Map is checked. Oopsies, cancel, close. Check that box. Now we have our map. Then we're going to come up here and select Lake Temp, and we're going to check this box. Next, up here in your toolbar, you should see this white eye in a blue dot with a cursor clicking on it. It is our Identify Features tool. If you don't see that, you should right-click on the on this toolbar area and come down to Toolbars and make sure that Attributes toolbar is checked. If you don't see it, it's because it's not checked. Now, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, or quite a lot. This blue bar down here is called your status bar, and the purpose of it is that sometimes on macOS you get the little pinwheel, and on Windows you get the blue spinning circle. Sometimes those mean that your computer is trying to communicate with the program to get the program itself to work. The purpose of this status bar is to let you know that the program is doing something. So, useful. Thanks, developers. I appreciate that. So next we are going to click on Identify Features up here at the top, and this Identify Results should pop up. Now we're going to click on this dot in this lake. And real quick, before I say that lake's name, I just want to say that if you have literally anything to tell me, whether that's how I'm explaining something, advice, or corrections on pronunciation, please tell me. Please do leave a comment. I will read it, and I really appreciate it because I like learning, and I will not be offended by corrections. That being said, I might butcher this. So Tustamina Lake. We're going to click on this dot right here at the middle-ish of Tustamina Lake. And once again, old computer, slow computer, it's going to take a moment to retrieve that data, that information. It's like 1.4 million different points that it has to go through to generate this list on the side. So it shouldn't take that long, probably. In the meantime, I'm gonna check my notes to make sure I'm not forgetting to tell you anything. Oh, yep, there we go. All right, so now that we have everything up there, we are going to real quick do something. If you try and pan the map right now with this tool, you're going to create a rather large rectangle, and in my experience, it's going to make QGIS crash. So I'm going to come back up here to the pan map tool and select that so I don't mess up. So to understand these different values, we can head back over to our browser of choice, at least for this video, and come to the technical documentation page or section of the Lake Temp page and click on the Lake Temp technical documentation PDF. I'm going to zoom in and we're going to go down to page 6 and 7 for table 2. Yep, there we are. Zoom out a little bit. So there's a lot of this is pretty straightforward, and I'm just going to quickly go over the things that I find to be most useful for my use case in regard to prediction of freeze dates and ice conditions over the course of the winter season for ice skating. So for the things that matter most to me are going to be ice start, right? So the average yearly start of when ice forms, and what it means in regard to the Julian day is that January 1st is 1 on the first Julian day, and then December 31st is 365, and if it's a leap year, it'd be 366. So in regard to the QGIS data that we have pulled up for this data set, we have the ice start as 349, and that roughly corresponds to either December 14th or December 15th. And then next, the two other values are, for this at least, are the ice start min and the ice start max. In this particular example, we don't have a value for the ice start min, but we do for the max. And Chrome. And the reason that those are important is because the ice start min is the earliest and ice start max is the latest expected freeze dates based on the satellite confidence range. And we use these to understand the variability from year to year of when the lake freezes. Then in some cases, it might be useful to pay attention to ice end max, ice end min, and ice end. Obviously, that's when it would begin thawing, generally speaking. And then the other one that I would pay attention to is intermittency. So it's you can read this here, and the way I would summarize it is it's a data quality flag. So if the value is 4 or 5, and I think 3 is what 3, 4, or 5, it means that the satellite often saw land instead of water, so the ice data might be unreliable. And if you're looking at this in QGIS, I would try and aim for either a 0, a 1, or a 2 for best confidence. And that is the basics here. So you can further explore on your own the outflow points or the outlet points, and also the polygons for each lake using the Identify Features tool to get something similar to this for the results. I am not going to go that far into this, though, because I really want to make this video short. I don't have a lot of time to record, and I have limited space on my computer for recording. The only other thing to do at this point is to make sure that you go up to project and save your document, or save this file, this QGIS file. I already have it saved here and a backup here, so I'm just going to resave, but title this however you like. In my case, I'm going to replace it, and that way you don't have to rewatch this video from the beginning. If you need to watch it from any other point, I'm pretty sure I'm going to make some like timestamps if I even know how to do that on YouTube, but I'll do my best. And then you can, just get to the information that you need while actually having the file already opened and saved and good to go with these layers added in the way that they are. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate a like. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. And if you need a comment on correcting my pronunciation or my explanation or just really anything to add, please do. I will read them. On the subscription note, the likelihood of me uploading a video within the next year is close to 0. It would be an anomaly in space and time. So thanks for watching, and I hope I covered everything that I was supposed to cover, or that I set out to. Let's check my notes real quick. One moment, please. Yeah, no, that looks like everything. All right. Thanks, and have a beautiful day. Farewell.